Brandon Rios, Humberto Soto in Mexico. Brandon is, I believe, coming off that Ramon Alvarez fight. I picked him to stop Ramon Alvarez in the later rounds, and he did. Humberto Soto's last fight I didn't see. The last time I've seen him actually is when he fought John Molina in a very dirty fight, and he was able to outwit John Molina to win a decision. Right now I'm watching Humberto Soto fight Antonio Orozco. That was in 2015, that's 4 years. But what I see here, he's beating Antonio Orozco with timing. I don't know if he's necessarily beating him, but he's being very competitive. You know, Humberto Soto, man, he's probably one of the prettiest Mexican fighters in the last 15-20 years. And when I watched him fight, I always thought of Eric Morales. That he's like a, I don't know, not as great version. That he has somewhat that style. He's 35 years old, fighting Antonio Orozco, young prospect, Kansas native, Garden City, like Brandon Rios. A childhood friend of Brandon Rios and Victor Ortiz, by the way. I believe that fight was a junior welterweight. You know, he was a champion, I believe, even at, I'm not totally sure right now. Was it lightweight, featherweight, beat Rocky Juarez, upset him. I believe he also beat, or did he lose to Juan Guzman? Yeah, man. Humberto Soto is a veteran of the sport, you know. Right now he's 38. He's going against, I believe, a 32-year-old Brandon Rios. Yeah, man, Rios had a rough go after especially that second Mike Alvarado fight. Getting battered by Manny Pacquiao for 12 rounds. Stopped by Timothy Bradley to the body. Jumping up in weight in between training camps, you know what I mean. Always trouble with weight, the guy. I'm a fan of the guy, you know, I like his style, I like his personality. But he always talks about like, that's my last chance to go to the top again, I'm ready and all that stuff, you know what I mean. I read that this fight against Humberto Soto, it should have been at a catchweight, I believe, at 144. That made me kinda scratch my head because Brandon doesn't have an easy time making welterweight, right? I believe that Brandon Rios is a natural junior welterweight, even at this stage in his career. Let's say he would have the most success at that weight, you know. But for some reason he can't come down to that weight. For some reason, man. It's a decade of bad weight cuts, your organs suffer, you know what I mean? And now he's at a stage where he's at a weight where he isn't necessarily in prime condition. But that's the only weight he can make, you know, 147. Now going in this fight, yeah, like I said, 144 catch weight, but I believe Humberto Soto weighed in just 147. So that made me also scratch my head. And then Brandon Rios comes limping up the stage and weighs in, I believe, 151 and something. Like in his last fight against Ramon Alvarez, Brandon weighed the same weight that he weighed in this fight. I don't know what weight they were scheduled to fight at, man. Right now it seems like a junior middleweight bout, you know? 12 rounder. So what does that mean? You know, Brandon limped to the scale. He was limping. It was visible. You can actually check out the comments. More than one person has mentioned it. Immediately I was thinking, why is he kinda like straining to walk? Maybe a bad weight cut? Cramping? Something like that? Or fucking a leg injury, man. His left leg actually looked kinda stiff, you know? If that's a leg injury, that would explain why he comes in that much over. Not able to do the exercise to effectively lose the weight, whatever, I don't know, man. Also, we haven't seen any videos on ES News, who are usually always around Brandon Rios in his training camp, at least like in the prelude to the fight, you know, but we haven't seen neither Robert Garcia or Ali Sagbag near Brandon Rios. Robert Garcia, I believe, is around Mikey Garcia right now. Obviously, they're training for that upcoming Spence fight, also promoting and all that stuff. But like I said, man, I made a video a while ago when they were talking about Rios going back to Robert Garcia. I said he wasn't training with the guy, you know, he goes there to spar maybe. I think he trains out of his garage or something, you know, with like a friend. But if he was injured, that maybe even a little bit of damage control by Sagbag and Garcia, you know what I mean? Not really mentioning Rios. We haven't heard anything, man. That's funny. Anyway, Humberto Soto though, he's skillful. And in prime condition, if Brandon Rios was in prime condition, if he was in the condition he was in against Ramon Alvarez. Like Ramon Alvarez is a 154 pounder, man. Or even bigger, I don't know. Like this dude isn't usually chinny or anything, although he has been stopped before. But Brandon was able to carry his work rate and power into the later rounds and stop that guy, you know. And a lot of that work that he does is actually like up and over type of stuff. That's what Humberto Soto is actually vulnerable for, or vulnerable to. Soto, man, in this fight against Orozco, he started out brilliantly, picking his punches, and then he slowed down, man, and Orozco started to box, and he started to come forward, not really respecting the power of Orozco, kind of trying to flurry at the end of the round, but more so like being aggressive. But a lot of his work is definitely muted when on the front foot. That's not a fucking option for Brandon, you know? Go on the back foot, you know what I mean? Make Humberto be the stalker. Not happening, man. So he's gonna box. I would think like it would be the type of fight like the Diego Chavez fight where he wears down Soto, you know, has success early but wears down. Because he is also that type of fighter on the inside. He doesn't really fight on the inside, Soto. Picks his spots and tries to clinch and look to the ref, you know what I mean? Smother, stifle, flurry real quick and try to get out, turn you. He's good with the straight punches and with the uppercuts. He has a good left hook to the body. Very good anticipating movement, you know? It looks very classy. Good jab, a good 1-2. When he flurries, he looks like Eric Morales. And he's also creative in his flurries. 1-2s, that's a little worrying because Brandon Rios gets hit with right hands. That was even before the Danny Garcia knockout, you know? He doesn't see that shot, man. So that's worrying. And especially if Brandon can't cut the ring off, if he has a leg injury, can't cut the ring off, is maybe even still like suffering from the weight loss. That's not good, man. Didn't look that bad, like physically, actually. And even in his face and everything, you know. But he was limping. And he came in over. I don't know, man. I'm picking Humberto Soto, man. I'm a Brandon Rios fan, but I'm picking Soto. Although he's 38, we don't know what he has left, you know. Actually. I just watched that fight against Orozco. And if Soto had a little bit more gas, a little bit more umph to his punches, I think he could actually have troubled him even more, you know? And in the end, Harold Letterman had it 1 point for Orozco in that fight at the end of 10. If he looks anything like he looked against Orozco and Rios, even at their best, you know what I mean? I think Soto would have troubled Rios, but I would have favored Rios over the distance, you know what I mean? Catch up to maybe late and stop him. But if he can't sustain work rate, if he has trouble cutting the ring off, shit like that, if he gets hit by right hands over and over, because Soto has a hand speed advantage, foot speed advantage, ring IQ advantage, I'd say, you know. He can't fight with Brandon on the inside, but you gotta have both legs. Dude was limping, man. Yeah, anyway, man, I'm picking Soto. Brandon is hard to get stopped, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a late TKO, maybe even to the body or something, you know. But I'm picking decision. I'm picking Soto by unanimous decision. 12 rounder. That's also kind of scary for Brandon, man. He's fought so many 10 rounders in his career. We're gonna see, man. I'm rooting for him, you know. Alright. Thanks for listening. Peace out. I'm out.
Rios, to me, has been hit really that Rios has completed him over clean shots right up to the center, and Murray don't have any defense. He puts his hands on the side of his face and just let the punches come up.
Earl Brown's got to take a very close look here. Murray's taken a lot of shots to the head in this fight.
Good referee, and he's going to.
That's a really good stop.
Excellent, just excellent. And what a performance by Brandon Rios. After a titanic struggle to make weight.
Murray is sort of still out on his feet.